And we are live.
On a Monday. Good morning.
Big Monday.
I am not awake yet. Welcome to the Legends Clubhouse. I am always ready, Bobby Kaboose. Always with, always late. Lawson Turner. What's going on, man?
Not always late. Only on days
You were,
that end in Y and even tomorrow.
yeah. So you were pretty much late. How was
Yeah.
your weekend?
It was pretty good. We did a lot of hanging around, spent some time with, friends, family, all that jazz,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice and
Um,
chill. What'd you do over the
had
weekend?
a graduation party on
Ooh.
Saturday that turned quite interesting.
Who
Um,
graduated?
so just a friend's son.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, it got a little interesting, man. Um, you know, things happen when you allow the kids to drink at their
Uh,
graduation party. So,
what'd you fuckers do?
well, no, dude. So, you know, like, um, were you allowed to drink at your graduation party when you graduated high school?
No, I wasn't.
All right. So neither was I, but the same day that mine was going on, one of my friends at the time, his was going on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually left mine early to go to his so we could drink. And
Right.
and my mom was cool with it because she wasn't gonna, serve alcohol to minors, but she was also like, all right, just let me know what you're doing. Be honest with me. If you
Yeah.
need a ride, I'll come pick you up, because she was like,
Yeah.
I was able to drink when I was 18, so
When sorry to interrupt, but like it's like my mom was kind of all my friends' moms, so like
Mhm.
everyone just loved coming to my house because they're like, hey, Lawson's mom's super chill XYZ, and it's not that I wasn't allowed because my mom was definitely like, hey, if you're gonna do it, I'd rather you do it at the house.
Yeah.
So like there was a couple times where my mom saved a couple of my friends' asses because they were doing stuff like in the street, and
Hmm.
here comes the wee woos, and there were a couple
Hmm.
times that they were like, hey, we don't have anybody to release these children to, so my mom had to save the block kind of, and
Yeah.
she just took on the persona of everybody's fucking mom.
Right. So yeah. So Saturday, they basically had this rule like let like the old people leave. You're not allowed to start drinking until 10. Which I thought was smart.
Right?
Um, they also said, you have to give me your keys. So like
Right.
if you're staying and drinking, you put your keys in this bowl and you're not getting them back till tomorrow. And then the other rule was no pictures, no cell phone, which I didn't think of. Like I was like, that's genius,
Yeah, it's a
like
great idea.
so obviously these kids are young and they let's face it, dude, they probably drank before, like it's not uncommon for someone to drink in high school. But you're expecting someone, at least someone, to get out of control, maybe a fight, maybe, we don't expect that person to be the person that the party is for. Um, and you don't expect them to start airing out dirty laundry about their parents in
Oh,
front of their parents and wanting to fight his dad. Um, so
there's this that is
it
fucking
was it
hilarious.
got awkward, it got weird, and
Hmm.
it got to a point where we were like, all right, we're gonna go.
There's this comedian. His name's Josh Wolf, and he has a hilarious bit about
Dick Wolf?
huh?
Dick Wolf?
Not Mister Law and Order himself, Josh
Oh,
Wolf.
I'm surprised
Yeah,
you knew that.
yeah. I'm a
The only reason I
listen.
knew that is because it said Dick Wolf right before Raw would start.
Hmm. And so Josh Wolf has these hilarious, bits and stuff about, every man, you know, there's a point in their life where they're like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of my old man. There's just, and I'm like, no, because I'm more scared of my mom than my dad. Because when I was, young, and she instilled fear into me, she said, "You're a really good kid. I only had to, discipline you once, and you like talked back to your dad when you were like, super small." And she said, "I got just rage and feel that I flew across the room and just jerked you up by your fucking collar and your little feet were dangling." And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm good. I'm not gonna be one of those badass old kids that keep, testing my parents. I'm good, dog. She'll beat the shit out of me to this day.
There was one time where, when I was a teenager, my mom slapped me across the face,
Yeah, nah.
and and it didn't hurt, and she hit, and I was like, and I just smiled at her, and then she realized, she's like, okay, I can't discipline you like this anymore. um and then, she would distill the fear of my brother, because my brother is 9 years older than I am, so
He'll, she'll have him beat the shit out of you.
she'll have, yeah, and then I was like,
That's
okay,
funny.
so, but yeah, man. So it got interesting.
That's
We
hilarious.
ended up we were there, dude. When the party started at like 3, we were there at like 3:15. We didn't get home until about 1:30 in the morning. So yeah, it was a long day. It was, feeling a little tired yesterday.
Mm.
And had to recover with the Sunday fun day, and get back to it. And then I got to watch some of my Tigers win their first game in frickin' 7 games or whatever. Man, this team, I don't know, dude. I've told
They
you my worry, and
they're such
yeah.
a hit and miss team. I mean, most baseball teams are, but
Hmm.
it's the fact that they had such an early stretch of dominance, like with them being the best franchise record pre All Star, and then I think today they're playing Game 1 in Pittsburgh. I think it's gonna be a Skeens versus Flaherty, or that might be tomorrow.
Hmm.
Whoever, but for a team that's they're what now 16-40, I think they're 20 games over.
Yeah.
Um, they're the one to me that they have to make a move,
Yeah.
whether it
Yeah.
be
They
someone in
have to
the
make
in,
multiple moves. I think they have to make multiple moves.
whether it be get another bullpen half
Yes.
starter,
That's fun.
or at least someone that can go, because for your bullpen games, especially in the playoffs, it's not going to be all right. We're going to throw 9 different arms out there for one per inning. It's going to be, can someone
Right.
give me 3 innings? Can someone give me
Yeah.
4? Like, you don't need another ace starter that you're gonna, okay, he needs to go at least 5, and potentially if he goes
Mhm.
6 or more, like. Scooble and Flaherty, especially when like it seems like Scooble's on his game first inning
Yeah.
through. Like I think through 43 pitches yesterday, he had 7 strikeouts, and it's just like
Mhm.
that dude is on a complete another level. And Flaherty, I told you he's Mr. 5 2/3. Like
Yeah.
he'll go great through 5, but it's can I get like the finishes and stuff. And to
Mhm.
me, he's been up and down. I think that
All
when he's
season.
huh
All season he has been. Yeah.
like he'll string 3 good great starts together, and then he'll have like the next 3 where it's like, dude, can you make it through 4?
Right. Like, what the hell are you doing out there?
Dude, 100%.
Yeah, I think they need to go get a bullpen arm, a starter, and a bat, all three. And if they want to actually make it a serious attempt at winning the World Series,
Mhm.
because dude, it's just now the inconsistency. Like, if the Tigers got hot at a period of time during the season, it was the wrong time. If they don't pick it back up,
Right.
so you can't fail the second half of the season, win the division, and then just back way your way into the playoffs and just
Mhm.
and get dominated. So I'm hoping that they can somewhat turn it around. I'm not on the worry train right now. Um, but I'm
You're in line to
definitely a
get your
little
ticket.
concerned. Well, I told you, I was like, I don't know if they're a serious World Series contender,
Mhm.
for a month now, and I'm kind of getting my point proven right now, so hopefully they prove me wrong.
Because I
I
think
like getting proved wrong.
I think the rosters, I think it's an above average roster when it comes from age, stats, power, contact. But yeah, just another person. Because I'm right there with you where like their high end, like we saw throughout the majority of the first half of the season, they were power, base running. They don't have a lot of steals, but the aggressiveness to get an extra
Yeah,
base, turn a single into a double, turn
that's fair.
a normal single that would put runners at the corners to
Yep.
scoring. It's the ability to be aggressive and complement your because like I told you, it's whenever Scooble pitches it, it's National Scooble Pitch Day. Cause
Yeah,
it seems that especially at home, they win. I understand his last outing at home, the Mariners kind of got after him, but it's kind of weird because that last start before the All Star game's kind of weird. Like
yeah,
I think Skeens against it might have been like a team. It might have been Arizona or somebody. He went 5 innings, 76 pitches, struck out 10, and they didn't give him out there for the sixth. Those last
yeah.
starts before All Star are just kind of weird.
It's crazy too is they just had this series against the Rangers.
Yep,
Corey Seager, did you see Corey Seager's numbers against him,
he's like
dude?
8 for 12.
11 at one point, and I'm like, what?
I
Like,
saw I saw I think his first two at bats he smacked a double on a really late swing up the baseline. Then he smacked a single, and then there was a line out to like the second baseman, and the camera pinned immediately to Scuba. And Scuba's like, yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes.
I find
Especially with Seager, there were I think it was 3 years, might have been 2 years ago when they won the World Series, and he was just insane. A lot of those hitters, especially because he's a lefty hitter against a lefty pitcher,
yeah,
those matchups to me are just kind of weird, especially with someone like Scuba, where his his number one pitch is his changeup. It's ridiculous.
mhm,
However, it's kind of hard to throw, one of those changeups, especially when you're at least at that 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock to a
lefty.
left dude 110%.
Yeah. Yeah, because usually you would probably lean on your slider or something running away from the
Right.
batter. You're not going to throw a changeup inside where it's going to dart towards the batter
Yeah.
or in that sweet lefty zone, that lower inside pitch where lefties tend to thrive and get their powers from.
100%.
Um, Powers like it's superpower power.
I mean,
Um,
that's one of the things for Seager. Like he's been a dominant, like inside hitting, like an inside ball hitter forever.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, man, I think the Cubs now own the best record in baseball. Or it's maybe tied with the two of them. I think the Cubs have one less loss than the Tigers. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but
Because I know they
uh,
lost yesterday to the Red Sox.
yeah. So we'll see how this second half
Mm-hmm.
unravels. And I'm surprised you haven't said yet. How many days away are we from football? But
I mean,
that can slow its roll
I
a little
mean,
bit.
the preseason is at the end of the month. We got 10 days before that, and I know your Lions are playing. However, it's the
Yeah,
Hall of
they're
Fame
kicking
game,
off, right? Yeah, the
huh?
Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, like, tell me this, like, in the Hall of Fame game, because someone was talking about this yesterday, and they're like, "Oh, like I wonder if something's gonna happen because of the hall." Like, something, the local bar that I go to for the Sunday Fun Day, right? They
Mm-hmm.
have trivia on Thursday nights, over there. So they're like, "Oh, I wonder if that's gonna happen with the Hall of Fame game." And I'm like, "Well, it doesn't. It's still fucking preseason. Who cares?" Do you know if the starters play
No.
like more in the Hall of Fame game or not
N-
because it's a Hall of Fame game, or are they just like whatever, we're gonna just treat this like any other preseason game and not play anyone?
no one's gonna play.
All
Like
right.
I wouldn't expect because it's so funny because when I think Sean McVay was the first to do it, where it's like we're not gonna play anybody the entire preseason other than the last game, and they're only gonna get 2 drives max. And then they started
Yeah.
out 8-0, and with the NFL being a copycat league, I wouldn't
Right.
expect any starter. I mean, unless there's a team that is in like a quarterback battle, like what's a good example? Like the Colts, how it's you have Anthony Richardson, but you brought in Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is leading per all reports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
However, I don't expect any predominant starter to play any snaps until maybe the third preseason game. Hall of Fame games to me, it's like you're a tweaker and you just get like a little bite of football because it's
Mhm.
back. Everyone's like, oh, it's right around the corner. It's right around the
Yeah.
corner. I get a little bit
Is
of a
there,
fix.
because I don't care about
Yeah,
pre like obviously like I'm probably like 80% of people because I would say probably 20% are those fucking crazy fucking people that are like, oh my god, preseason, blah blah blah. I'll tell you, like, I don't care about who's gonna be the third string quarterback of the
yeah,
fucking Arizona Cardinals. Um, but anyway, do they do any kind of like ceremony at the beginning because it's the Hall of Fame game? Is that like where they introduce like the
yeah.
Hall of Fame inductees?
Yeah,
Okay.
they do a pre-game induction, and they kind of honor the class. Like they have all the class on the field, and because I think the stadium's right next to the Hall of Fame, like
Got
the place. So
it.
that's kind of where it's this game is just a tradition of, okay, this is where we're gonna honor the
Hmm.
class. So like you have the ceremony, and then now you have the game.
Yeah. Do you watch preseason football? Are you one of those goobers?
Um, I'll watch certain teams because I just want to see I want to see how long certain leashes go. Because a lot of times I think last year, they basically they as in the Dallas Cowboys, they threw out Trey Lance for like the entire game because they traded for him, and
Mhm.
I think he was the first player in NFL history to have like a 300-yard passing game, three touchdowns and three picks, and I'm like, they're just letting him fucking air it out.
Yeah.
It I watched the Hall of Fame game semi closely last year because of the new kickoff rule. So
Hmm.
like you can call me a sicko, but I watched the opening kickoff like 1,000 different times just because I'm like, I want to know how this new shit's gonna work. I want to know what can I see. Is there any like, because my initial thought process was, okay, how does it look? How does it work? How, because there's no blocking schemes with the new spiel. It's
Yeah.
literally just one line, and if you can break it, in theory, go. So I'm like,
Right.
okay, I can see someone's gonna work out like an end around on the kickoff, or
Mhm.
a fake jet, whatever the case may be. But I was
Yeah.
just I'm intrigued with new stuff, especially when it comes to in sports. Like I've
Do
seen
you,
this. Do I like the new
do you
kickoff?
like the kickoff thing?
Um, no. However, dude, for real,
No.
like I don't know, like the old school kickoff was kind of enjoyable because there's no
Yeah.
really lane to go. Like I said, the blockers and the guys like with both special teams, they're I think 10 yard. I think they're 10 yards apart. So there's no,
Hmm.
and there's two people in the landing zone. So there's really no way to, I can scheme or do any wedge blocks. Not that you can do wedge blocks anytime
Right.
over the past 5, 6, 7 years, but there was a scheme and an art to the special teams, especially when it came to
Right.
blocking and stuff like that. So I mean, it was new, so I wanted to see, because
Yeah.
it's to hit the nail on the head one more time. It's new. I want to see it. I
Right.
want to.
So would you change it back, or what would you change if you
I
if
would
you
just if I was in like the league rules office, I would change it back. I understand why they changed it because you're getting these 220 to 230 pound dudes running 65 yards down the field towards each other, and that's high collision. So I understand in theory to make it safer. Um, I think Shannon Sharp had a great comparison about playing special teams because before he was starting tight end H back stuff like that. It was get you go to Home Depot, get you a hard hat and a flak jacket, and get 20, 30 yards away from your garage and run into it full speed. Like that's how those high. That's how those. That
Yeah.
is how much those high collisions happen, especially on special teams when you do have like these are one of one athletes. Like even if you're the worst dude on the practice squad, you are a 0.1% of a 1% athlete.
Right. So, with the new kickoff rule, would you change anything of it? Like, would you change anything to make it better?
There's nothing like how they have both teams lined up. There's really nothing you can do to make it better. Um, I honestly thought it would take a longer time for someone to get a kick return on it because I'm
Yeah.
like, in theory, you break the first line, you're good. However, if your coverage team just doesn't execute their blocks, then it's like, oh well, then you're not really going to. I thought it was really interesting when the NFL came out. We're like, okay, we're gonna move it from the touchbacks, that don't land in the landing zone because if
Mhm.
it lands in the landing zone and goes to a touchback, it goes out to the 20.
Yeah.
If it goes straight to the touchback, it's I
The
think the
30.
30. Yeah. And there were talks about, oh, we want to try and we want to encourage more returns. So we're thinking about moving it from the 30 to the 35. And I'm like, well, with these high flying ass offenses, 1-2 plays and you're already in field goal range, especially with how
Right.
good these especially with how good these
Kickers.
kickers are.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, so this topic came up on the local radio the other day, and someone called in because that's how I was trying to get a change out of you. This guy calls in and he's like, "You know what would be great is if you is if you could throw a forward pass on a kickoff."
Frank
So like
Whitecheck, bring back Frank Whitecheck.
and fucking just chug it. And the radio host was like, so you could have just uh infinite pass interferences and just fucking like bulldoze somebody over and there'd be no flag and
The amount of
oh
people that
it's like,
call
how would that happen?
the amount of people that call
So
into local radio and just throw out these crazy ass
yeah,
ideas, I'm like,
yeah,
sometimes they might
100%.
be onto something. However, fucking, weirdos like that, like, okay, bro, well, turn back the clock about the iconic, the Frank Wycheck Music City Miracle play, where,
Yeah.
was it a forward pass? Nah. However, in his example, let's just throw it forwards. Like, okay, you
Yeah.
fucking dickhead. Shit.
Ever
Um,
had to go somebody like what the fuck, dude?
it
He's
it's
so
it's
weird.
really interesting when people come up with that. I'm like, dude, do you even hear yourself fucking think?
Right.
Do you have an internal monologue about just how you say it? Speaking of internal monologues, one of my boys told me it might have been like a year and a half ago that if you think, do you have like a voice in your head that you can like an actual internal monologue to where you can
Hmm.
talk to yourself, and a lot of like I think he said only like 30% of the people in the world actually do. And I'm like, that's
Hmm.
a crazy ass number because I constantly think, so I
Right.
can there are the Randy Orton, the voices in my head, to where it's just
Okay,
a
more.
dude for real. Speaking of wrestling, did you see AJ Styles came back to TNA over the weekend?
I didn't see it, but I saw it, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
didn't
see
see it
it, but
live. You saw the
I didn't
replay.
I didn't even see the replay. I just knew he was going to be there, and I didn't know when it was happening. So,
hmm
see anything about it, but I knew he was returning.
I saw the clip. It was pretty cool. He got a pop that I thought he was gonna get because he came out with his OG TNA like theme, and the whole
Yeah.
crowd was singing when he came out. I also saw apparently everyone's favorite G Enzo Amore came back on Twitter. I saw that and I'm like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I wasn't sure if that was real or not. So I guess
Oh,
that really happened on TNA.
he,
Um,
which is crazy because TNA's got the partnership with WWE. And
yeah.
it's also funny too because now both of their I think it's the NXT champ and the women's champ are WWE people from NXT.
Oh, really?
I saw that on Twitter and I was like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, yeah. And they should do it the other way around too. Like Joe Hendry should win. I don't know if he was NXT champion at one point. He might have been. Um, but I know he was fighting for it for a little bit.
Yeah,
But that would be cool too. You have the mixed match, so then that way it becomes less predictable, and you're like, oh man,
As opposed to with
expose and get more exposure to each brand.
right, and as opposed to WWE just taking over. Oh, now we have your champion and your women's champion. So like, what do you have?
Right.
I also saw Bubba Ray came out. Speaking of the old heads, came out and challenged the Hardy Boys to one more match. And I'm like, I love holding on to nostalgia. However, you're in your fucking
Sometimes,
just let it go.
yeah.
Just let it go. And
Like
it
Goldberg, dude. Like I'm like, I don't need to see you again, dude. Like I'm sorry. Like you were cool for a year. Like
it was crazy
in
after.
'97, you were
Yeah.
cool once. Like you're not cool anymore. And like, even like guys like I guess the Undertaker is in like great shape. Dude, I don't want to see you again. Like I don't mind if you come out and like just like choke slam or tombstone someone or like even be a manager or
Hmm.
something, but like dude, I don't need a full on match where it looks like you need to, check yourself into a nursing home after. Like everyone gets older, everyone understands that. I would rather picture you in your prime than Ric Flair dying on the apron.
Right, and it's funny you brought up Undertaker because yeah, he has his own podcast and stuff. And when he came out to help Cody at WrestleMania 40, he was even saying because Undertaker's last match was kind of during like that COVID era where they had like that, what the fuck was it called, like a graveyard
Cinematic.
match or something.
Yeah, it was that cinematic graveyard or whatever that, I forget what they call it, versus AJ Styles.
Yeah,
Um
and it's
that
like,
was really well done. I was like, okay, this is actually pretty cool.
yeah, it's a in theory, and it was executed great. But it was like,
Yeah.
as a performer, I want the one more moment,
Hmm.
whatever. And Taker even brought up on his podcast that he was like, I wasn't at peace with it because it was kind of the weird
Yeah.
era of like the Thunderdome and all that jazz on that
Mhm.
COVID era. And so he said when he was at attendance for Mania and he worked his way down when he did that chokeslam, he exited stage left per se. He was like, I'm at peace now. I got my
Yeah.
one more in ring in front of 60,000.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you get to a point where your body just gives out on you. Like that, remember like Goldberg versus Undertaker was fucking terrible
Yeah.
in Saudi. And just let us remember you when you had it,
Uh,
not
uh,
not
100% because I do think with the recency bias is great both ways. Cause
Mhm.
like recency bias for whenever something new happens, is like, oh, that's a top 10 moment that I can remember. And then
Yeah.
with the recency bias working the opposite way, it's like, dude, you held on for too long.
Yeah, man. You need to call it quits.
Yeah.
Like get into a different role. Like if you need, if you want to be part of wrestling, get into a different role.
Hmm.
Go into be a manager. Do other things. Be an enforcer. I don't know. Even though enforcer wouldn't even work because you're old, but you know, don't be a mentor.
I get the spiel.
Do
Yeah, yeah.
be a referee.
That'd be
Turn
so
into a
funny.
referee. What if Undertaker was the referee? That'd be awesome. Like he gets bumped, right? Like like how Charles Robinson's been getting bumped like crazy. He gets bumped,
So
right? And
funny.
he's down and he just sits up.
That'd be fun.
You know, it,
He sits up, does the double count one.
yeah, dude.
Right. It's funny you brought up being a referee because apparently that's how Jake the Snake started. He was an official
Yeah,
first before he became a wrestler.
yeah. Well, I mean, probably most guys like start off like when when they're training and shit, and especially back in the territory days, they would do like odd jobs like that'd be like ring boy or referee
Hmm.
or timekeeper or whatever. Shane McMahon started off as a referee.
Yep.
And shit. So, you work your way up and,
Hmm.
then you start doing the DDT and your dad molests children. I don't know. That's what Jake the Snake's dad, the
Yeah.
Grizzly, that, Dark Side of the Ring episode about him, which is very disturbing.
Yeah.
And,
That shit's. I mean, and once again, I think that's one of like the if you had like a super fucked up childhood and stuff like that, it's easier for you to portray and to be the bad guy. Like I think
Yeah.
I think Jake Roberts was talking about one of his better promos, and when he was um he grabbed one of the boom mics and was like, he was talking, he was mouthing a promo, but nothing was coming
Mhm.
out, and a lot of people, and they were like, Jake, what are you like? We're not picking up anything. And he continues to mouth his promo, but nothing's coming out. And so he grabs the
Mhm.
boom mic and he was like, did you think I wasn't talking? I bet you got up and did the volume on your television set, did you?
Mhm.
To just the intenseness of
Right.
it, to where you can kind of
Right.
find a safe place in, because a lot of the wrestlers, it's a portrayal of a character.
Right.
You very rarely do you see them, take on the persona of their out of the ring self. So
Right.
it's, can you
And
put yourself in that
and a lot of them too are like their self but amped up to the,
right.
100 degree. But Jake was also the first guy to cut a promo where he's like, "Yeah, let me tell you something, brother," or like getting super intense, like
Yeah.
he spoke and did like a very soft deliberate delivery,
Mhm.
that you would have to hang on every one of his words to be able to um get the point across, and it was entertaining, and he made it work. So
Mhm.
yeah, he was one of the, or probably the first that did not like go absolutely crazy in a promo where he's hulking up or doing whatever the fuck the Ultimate Warrior was doing,
Yeah.
talking about
And
fucking space and shit.
did with it being Monday, do you have any expectations or things you want to see tonight?
I don't really know what's going on tonight, but I do. So SmackDown, they had Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They're now challenging for the women's tag team titles
Mhm.
at SummerSlam, and they need to lose. They they're gonna win. They're gonna win. They're gonna beat the Judgment Day. Why would they put this team together and have them challenge for it if they weren't gonna have the tag team titles, and then have oh, we're not friends but we're champions, blah 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 blah. They need to cut this storyline because they already have a storyline with the women's tag team titles involving Liv Morgan when she comes back. Raquel has found her new partner in what's her name, Roxanne Perez,
Mhm.
and Roxanne is gonna start flirting with Dom. They have the story right in front of us, right? Dom is gonna be flirting with Roxanne. Liv's coming back. Roxanne took her man. She took her title. Raquel is confused, but she's got to go with her partner, and Liv teams up with Rhea. It's Dom's exes versus Dom's currents. And just, and then they could put like how Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero back in the day had a ladder match for custody of Dom. They could do that again. They could put his mullet on the ladder, and whoever pulls it down
I've seen
gets him.
I've seen so
Gets him
many
in the titles.
I've seen so many memes of like when Liv and Rhea were first going at it. It was like they'll do that for the ownership of Dom, and they'll have him in a little cage suspended above the ring, and I'm like, that shit's
Shark cage, man.
too, huh?
Shark cage. Or shark cage. They
Yeah,
put him in shark cage. Or you go and pay homage to WCW and you put Dirty Dom on a forklift like they did Judy Bagwell.
that'd be so damn
Speaking of
funny.
Judy Bagwell, did you see what happened to Buff Bagwell over the weekend?
No,
You know who Buff Bagwell is?
no, doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. Well, Buff Bagwell he's buff and he's the stuff. Dude, this guy, Buff Bagwell, I'll give you a little history lesson. Buff Bagwell, he got into WCW. He
Hmm.
had his debut match at 19 years old.
That's
Like he
awesome.
was, dude, he had the look, he had like everything, dude. His career ended when he was like 31. Like think about that, dude.
That's
12 years, 12 he was a 12-year veteran,
Anything
and
31 is nuts.
he only wrestled till he was 31. 31 or 32, very early 30s.
Hmm.
But so Buff, he famously got fired from WWE when they had the invasion angle. Him and Booker T had a horrendous match on Monday Night Raw to end the it was a main event of Raw, and literally they kicked him out of the door in the match in the back. Stone Cold and Kurt Angle, I think was they literally threw Buff Bagwell out the door, and you never saw him again. He got literally fired the next day.
So funny.
But apparently he was in some kind of accident in 2020, and the complications from the accident forced him to get his leg amputated over the weekend.
Damn.
So he's now one leg stuff, Buff Bagwell. But yeah, man, he was a member of the NWO. He was a good tag team wrestler. And like I said, I think he was probably very arrogant. That's the I know he played or portrayed that on TV, but you could kind of probably see it because he's a young, good-looking dude that
was thrown into the spotlight immediately.
Yeah. So, I think he may have rubbed behind the scenes officials the wrong way, probably. That's what I'm guessing why they didn't give him another chance.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, he got his leg amputated. So now they call him 12-inch stuff. 12-inch buff. Because he's got 1 foot.
I was about to say, is that
So
that's funny.
like that?
I did like it. It was nice. Did you see over the weekend with George Karlaftis getting extended by the Chiefs?
I don't know who that is.
He's a Chiefs defensive lineman. Really short hair.
Sure.
Anyways, he got a fee.
Really short hair. Okay.
I mean, whenever he takes the helmet off, he's got like it's not a skin fade, but it's like really like damn near buzzed all the way around. And I mean, he doesn't have any. I mean, he doesn't have any notable plays other than he's a really good young DN, but it's like
Why are we talking about him? I mean, he's not notable.
Because he got a 4-year, $93 million extension.
So did I.
Damn. Let me hold 5. Anyways, did you also see that Trump was trying to get the Commanders to change their name back?
Yeah, I did see that. And I think they should. I mean, it's woke white people that are the reason why this name change in the first place. Like,
right.
I remember there was like a petition going around from Native Americans being like, no, we like the name and we like being represented and all this stuff. And
yeah, I remember seeing like
it's these Karens. These Karens are like, oh, it's offensive.
I need to feel sorry for you. Like, no, they don't. Once again, I'm not speaking for the Native Americans, but if there's a petition with 80,000 people saying, we don't give a shit. I remember for the longest time they were trying to ban like how at Braves and Chiefs games there's the tomahawk chop, they were trying to find a way to ban that, and I'm like, you're not gonna ban a fucking chant or anything in the stadium. Like, what?
Because watch what people will do. They'll do it because they can't. Like, if you tell them they can't do it, they're gonna, oh, okay, we'll do it the whole fucking game now.
Dude, everyone's gonna fucking do it. I remember a couple years ago too. Dude, for real. I remember seeing a couple years ago when PETA wanted to change the name from the bullpen to the arm barn, and I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever fucking. I'm dead serious. They were like, the bullpen is a derogatory term for where they keep, cattle and stuff. I'm like, that's the dumbest fucking thing. The arm barn? Shut the fuck up.
You know how many cattle we offended over the years? Like, get the fuck out of here.
All of them.
Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
I know it's early in the morning, but get ready to milk them udders.
What's the worst name change, in your opinion?
Like in history?
Yeah, Commanders, Guardians, Pelicans,
That's
what
tough.
Thunder. Um,
I think going from Seattle to OKC was the biggest, like from going from the Supersonics to the Thunder. I think that was because they play in Oklahoma City and it's in the middle of
yeah.
nowhere. Um, that's a big one. They didn't change the name, but going from Brooklyn to LA for the Dodgers. I remember the Lakers were the Washington Bullets to the Wizards. That's a good one.
Do you think that's the worst one? Or like, I
I'm
think
just,
the
I'm,
worst
I'm just
one.
thinking of notable ones off the top because I haven't
Right.
thought about that. There's one, but yeah, let's hear you. What's the worst one?
Because, dude, I can't stand the Commanders. I can't. I think that's dumb as shit. I can't stand the Guardians. I think that's stupid as fuck. I can't stand the Pelicans. Those are the three. Like I'm like, dude, you couldn't think of something better than those. Like,
Yeah, the
you know, there's one I'm probably missing because
yeah. There's been a slew over the past 200 years.
yeah,
What's your opinion on what was your opinion on the football team?
the Washington football team.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it was all right. I mean, they to just have like very plain jerseys and shit. That
yeah.
was weird. You know, it was cool, but they half-assed it. You know, they because the soccer clubs, are called football clubs,
Yep.
right? And that I think that was kind of a cool thing to do.
Mhm.
Again, you have a very plain logo. You have
Plain
like
jerseys.
ugly ass jerseys. Like if you made it like like if they had like either the Commanders jerseys or the Redskins jerseys without the fucking chief,
Yeah.
um, they that would have been cool. Like that would have been okay. Like have a cool I would have called it the football club, instead of football team, because it would have sounded like a soccer thing, and
Mhm.
with for me with like logos and typography and stuff, I think a C would look better than a T,
Yeah.
with the W, or yeah, W and the F.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, they were essentially what the fuck, right? WTF?
Yeah, I remember when they first made the change. Me and a lot of friends and stuff. We were like, "You guys make multi-billions of dollars, and the best you could come up with was the Washington football team." And then after like 2 years, because I think it was around for 2 years, maybe three. I don't, don't quote me on it. I mean, they snapped our win streak when we were 11-0 in that COVID season. You know, get fucked on Steelers. But what'd you say?
I said Steelers suck, dude.
Maybe. But so I remember like a year and a half into it, we're like, I'm kind of fucking with the Washington football team name. It's just kind of tight. And then
Right,
they changed it to the Commanders, and I'm like, you're changing it again?
right.
I mean, I remember the first year and a half, a lot of like whenever TV analysts and stuff, whenever they would bring in like your former athletes to talk about it, they would still say Redskins. And then, oh shit, I mean the
Yeah,
Washington team.
yeah.
Um,
The team that plays in Washington. Yeah.
yeah,
So, but yeah, I mean, I just like you have an opportunity with a clean slate. Like I don't even like the Kraken. Like I'm like, dude, like you couldn't think of something better than the Kraken. That was
I
one.
I like the Kraken name.
I will tell you, Utah hockey got it right. The Mammoth is amazing.
That shit was so
The
tight.
colors, logo, I think they hit that right on the head.
I
But
remember when. Oh, I'm sorry. Continue. That was very rude of me. I apologize.
yeah, go, man.
No, you got it. My bad.
I mean, I've lost my train of thought. Thanks.
I
You
apologize.
ruined.
No, come on.
No, let's remember.
Let's remember. I remember. I remember. So now we remember
Yeah, we
when
remember.
we remember when the names were down to like the mammoth, the yetis, the fucking
Mhm.
I remember there was an article not an article, there was a poll going around about saying fuck it dude, let's just call it the fucking the Utah Snowballs.
Yeah, man.
And
That would be great.
yeah, I
Uh,
think that you hit it right on the nail where the mammoth are fucking sick.
Yeah. The worst one might be the Guardians. I'm like, it's just they want. I know they wanted to keep the IANS at the end,
Hmm.
and it was for like the bridge or whatever the fuck. I'm like, dude, like, just who comes up with this shit, dude? Like, I feel like if they didn't have a fan poll, they should have and asked for suggestions or whatever. They could have came up with something way cooler than that. Like, how do they come up with these cool ass fucking minor league team names? And they can't come up with cool pro teams, right? Why can't we get the Cleveland Trash Pandas?
I was just about to say, bro, there are so many really cool and interesting ones.
Yeah, man.
And I was
And
I was literally gonna bring up the trash pandas. I'm like, just look at the little trash pandas. Their logo's a
yeah,
little raccoon. He's-
the lug nuts.
The lug
Like, come on,
nuts.
awesome.
It's so creative. All the stuff that
Sea
you said. The what?
wolves.
Seawolves is another really good one.
Man.
I don't know. I think that'd be interesting exercise to like if we were to start our own like club or something like that. What would our like team names be?
It'd be mine would be
Thing on.
oh yeah, I don't have a name.
I'm, I'm like, it's that fucking meme from that movie. Well, we're waiting.
Wait.
You said my team name would be,
Yeah, from
and it was
Batman,
just,
right?
huh?
I think that's from Batman, right? The well, we're waiting, right? No.
I think you might be thinking of when the Joker was like, and here we go.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but it's really interesting when it comes to like the creativeness, because once again, I am not that as creative as someone like you.
Hmm.
But the conversation is 100% interesting because when you lock these multimillionaires into a room, you expect something semi decent,
Right,
and the fact that the
right.
best you could come up with is the Guardians or the
Yeah.
Commanders.
Or the Pelicans. Like what like the Pelicans, dude? Pelicans?
I don't know.
Pelicans.
I always thought that when they moved it from the Hornets, when they moved to Charlotte, I was like, okay, well, what are they gonna do now? And when they came out with the New Orleans Pelicans, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's just kind of funky.
Yeah.
I
Don't
mean
like
the NHL's got a bunch of funky teams too. Like I understand they're one of the original I think 6 or 8 teams, but like the Maple Leafs
Yeah, man. There's syrup.
that you hate.
Yeah, I know. It's gross. But
It's
the
gross.
weird thing is why is the maple leaves blue and white when the maple leaf on the Canadian flag is red?
I don't know. It's a really
Interesting. Right? I wonder if they just didn't want to like just take the fucking flag. I
yeah,
guess like
because it
because
might look like this could be the national team per se.
right yeah because like I mean like the Rangers are red, white, and blue, but like
Hmm.
they don't have an American flag on their like they don't have like a star or anything.
Yeah.
So like yeah, if the Maple Leafs took that, they would essentially just have just be wearing their flag.
Hmm.
Um, but they need to bring back the Quebec Nordiques, the Quebec Nordiques. They had the fucking greatest jerseys of all time, possibly.
Hmm.
Those light, very light ice color blue. Ooh, those were
Crispy.
nice. They were nice sweaters.
Did you watch any of UFC 318 over the weekend or no?
Did not.
Uh, Dustin Poirier in his retirement fight, he lost via unanimous decision. There were a couple times where it's like they fought for the BMF belt, which I'm sure you could, you not being a UFC guy, could take a guess as to what BMF means.
Big Mama firing.
Big Mama Firing. They were fighting for the Big Mama Firing belt, right?
Yep.
And it originally became like a meme belt, but now it's like an official XYZ blah 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 all that jazz.
Yeah.
But when someone of the sport MMA, because a lot of UFC fans, they're like, "Oh, you do UFC?" It's like the name of the sport is MMA,
Right.
but UFC is the biggest promotion and stuff like that. But yeah, Dustin Poirier lost his last fight, and it was pretty, it was cool to see because it was in his hometown. Him and Lil Wayne walked out, and it was a pretty,
Goldberg.
huh?
So he Goldberged?
He did Goldberg. He lost his. I mean, even if this wasn't his last fight and his last one was, he lost. He lost the championship fight to Islam Makhachev, and so, huh?
Was it a work?
It was not a work.
It wasn't a work.
It wasn't a work. No, but it was just really interesting to. Well, not interesting. It was pretty cool to see like this was his last hurrah hurrah. Like I think he's ranked like 5th in the UFC rankings for, his weight class, but it's like, once you get like that 33, 34 and you fought
Yeah.
50 times, it's like, okay, what, how if I'm not, in the championship title, picture anymore, then it's like, I'm not just going to go out there and fight to fight cuz he's fought 50 times.
Yeah, I don't know much about the MMA world.
Mm-hmm.
I really only watched if Brock Lesnar was fighting, or I watched CM Punk's couple fights, or Ronda Rousey, or you know, but I'm not against it. Like if someone would be like, "Hey, do you want to come over and watch UFC?" I'd be like, "Okay, that's cool. We can watch it."
Yeah, it's not your cup of tea.
But yeah, unless someone's getting put through a table or something, or someone throws in a steel chair or some brass knucks or something.
I was
Distract
talking.
the referee real quick.
Say what?
Distract the referee real quick so I can choke this motherfucker out.
I remember talking to one of my boys over the weekend that I was watching the card with. I was like, we need for MMA, because it's actual fighting. We need a league where there's just roids out the ass, where everyone's
Yeah.
on roids. I saw a TikTok where it was like, because for the women's division, they're like the flyweight and strawweight, so they're super, like little petite. Well, most of them are like petite, but then you when you see one that's coming up and she's really muscular, it's like damn. And then there's the all hate comments that, oh fuck, that's a man. And I'm like, can't I'm like, number one, can we calm down? It's fucked up. Number two, we need a heavyweight division for women. Let's get some big bitches in there and be throwing hands. I would love that.
I saw one that like kind of charged some chick, and she just moved out of the way, and then she fell on the ground, and then she got knocked out.
Like, that's what we need in the UFC. Dana White. I don't know if there's any ideas about it, but if you see this, I want a heavyweight women's division. That'd be.
What is it?
Huh?
What's it gonna be? The BBT? Big bitch tour?
Yes. Let's get the heavyweight for women. Let's get some big girls in there that their elbows are puckering up, and let's just start throwing hands. Like, that shit would be so. I just made you $1 million in pay-per-view buys. Like, that would be so damn funny. Like, could you imagine two women that are, because I think the cutoff weight for heavyweight is anything over 265 is considered heavyweight in the UFC. Let's get some, huh?
That'd be a big woman.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get some two big girls in there and just have them throw those big hammer fist meat hooks they got. That'd be. Oh, because everybody tunes into heavyweight for big giant meat knuckles, just throwing them. Let's get some.
There's a difference between meat knuckles and meat balls, dude.
Yeah, let's get some girls that got some fucking big meaty claws. Let's get some girls that are in there that have some 240, just fucking letting that shit rain. That's a great idea.
I don't know about that, man.
Why not?
You'll have PETA all over you, dude, or some other kind of.
They are not taking them to the ground. It's just fisticuffs.
Just fisticuffs.
Yeah, let's get some street fight rules where you can grab hair.
You got a bunch of Yokozunas out there, dude.
Bingo! Let's get some big girls that look like Bam Bam Bigelow out there. Yo.
It was like fucking when Peter's sister in Family Guy was a wrestler.
Dude, for real.
PMS or whatever. Something like that.
Right. Like, I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure they've spitball ideas because they've got like the power slap.
Yeah.
Have you seen the power slap?
Yes, I have seen the Power Slab videos.
That shit's insane.
Yeah. I mean, whatever, dude. Do your thing. Can't believe certain things are a sport. We saw
Ha-
fucking
I,
professional pillow fighting
have you seen
on like
professional
the
tag?
huh?
Have you seen professional tag?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when that needs to come to the U.S., well, there's two of them. There is car jujitsu where you where you guys start in a car.
Jiu-jitsu.
One guy's in the passenger seat, one guy's in the driver's seat. You're buckled up, and then you just go and you gotta unbuckle, and someone's got their hand on the other person's buckle so they can't unbuckle. There was one where bro's like trying to submit him with a choke with the seatbelt and stuff like that. Another really good one, phone booth boxing. I'm I'll send you a clip. Two dudes back to back in a phone booth. They go ding 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 or whatever, and they just turn around. There's no room to get a lot of power, so it's just it looks like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, literally. That shit's awesome.
Man. Hey man, like Big L once said, I'm undefeated, that's the stone truth. Fighting me is like fighting a gorilla in a phone booth. Anyway,
Bars.
it is time for the Daily Nerfy. Um I lost on Friday. How did you do? Did you get through the first inning?
You're damn right I did.
I don't even know my record anymore, man. I stopped keeping track. I
I got it
gotta
right
add it
here.
up.
I got it right here. I am 15-9. You're 13-11.
All right. Well, I'm about to be 14-11 because I am taking the first game today, or one of the first games today. We talked about it earlier. The Detroit Tigers are not playing well, and they're not scoring many runs. And they're versus Paul Skeens. So, um, Tigers Pirates. Paul Skeens is taking the mound. He's 4-8. This is the epitome of why we don't care about fucking records when it comes to pitchers. Because he's got a 2.01 ERA and he's 4 and goddamn 8. With 131 strikeouts. I mean, he's got a possibility to strike out the side in the first inning, especially with the cold Tigers bats. What we do need to get through is a Jack Flaherty first inning. So Jack Flaherty is 5-9 with a 4.65 ERA, but he's got 124 strikeouts. So um, if we can get if we get through Flaherty, Skeens should be a wrap, and you probably might not have much juice on this one. It might be a minus 150 because Skeens is on the mound. So, you might want to try to parlay it with something to get.
I remember seeing some stat that if Paul Skeens would have gotten MLB average run support, which I think is like 3.68
Yeah,
runs per game across his like last 30 starts, he'd be like 28-1 with a no
yeah,
decision. I'm like, that's fucking ridiculous.
insane,
Um,
right?
I got an interesting one. Give me the Milwaukee Brewers against the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners are a funky team. Like, they are dominant hitting wise on the road statistically, and they're kind of below average at home. The Brewers are throwing Brandon um, Woodruff on the mound. Yep, woof woof. He's making his his technically fourth start, his third since coming back. He's been awesome in his last outing. He only went 4 1/3, but struck out 10 in his first start. Coming back healthy, he went 6, struck out 8, only giving up 3 total runs. He has a 2.61 ERA, and they're going up against the Seattle Mariners, who are throwing George Kirby on the mound. He has a 4.5 ERA, but I expect both pitchers to, they are easily. Now I'm not predicting, both of them striking out the side, but two really good strikeout pitchers. I expect them to limit the damage to 0 in the first inning.
0. Yeah,
Bagel.
so there's the Nerfies of the day. Thank you for joining us on this Monday. We are live on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have your breakfast with us, your cereal, your big boy breakfast. with some eggs, bacon, ham, sausage. Get yourself a little bit of toast or a pancake, and enjoy the entertainment. You can find us on New Leaf News, obviously on YouTube, on Twitter, or X, on Instagram, on Blue Sky, on Facebook, on TikTok, pretty much everywhere. Go to newleafnews.com .net or .network. Both of them take you to the same great site. We're consistently getting over 1,000 views a day, for the entire month of July. It is insane on our growth, and we're about to strap this rocket to the goddamn moon. Um, if we, like I said, we have daily content over there, whether it's sports, horoscopes, newsworthy stuff, people dying from possessed dolls. If you want to hear about that, go to New Leaf News. We also have stuff for politics, entertainment. If you like podcasts, we have podcasts and more section, where I have my other show, 64-Bit Legends. Check out our latest episodes on New Leaf News. There's a link over there to listen to it on Spotify. Check us out on X, on Instagram at 64-Bit Legends, and let me know if you like our content. We do it for the people. It's similar to this show, but might be a little bit more raunchy. I'm not really sure. Um, but check me out. I'm on X. I'm on Instagram at Bobby Kaboose. This is at Lawson _1226 on the same two platforms. And we all know by now those numbers mean something. Steal his identity. Get him a gift for his birthday. That's his pin. So go to the ATM and fucking take some money out. I don't know. Take some money out and then send it to him. Be like, haha, I got you, fucker. That would be a nice little joke. But he's never had.
Are you good over there?
He's never had a birthday gift, because his birthday is one day after Christmas, and no one celebrates Boxing Day. No one fucking cares. So go get him a gift. It'll make his day. Did you just see his smile? That will be his smile all year round.